What's going on, everybody? Alongside TJ Calkins, Jay Sannon here with ATS, breaking down the UFC Vegas 40 card. And TJ, I know you got a couple of bets lined up. You had to dig for them, but as always, you found us some value. I can't wait to hear what you have on this card. Let's start out with Marquez and Wright. Julian Marquez, a minus 250 favorite, taking on Jordan Wright in this matchup. I want to get your thoughts on that one to start us off.
Well, I think the matchup for me is mostly about Jordan Wright. Julian Marquez is absolutely an ascending fighter. He's a finisher. We've seen him get front chokes. We've seen him use his grappling. We've seen him get knockouts. He's in a high volume guy, but everything he does is effective inside the cage. But with Wright, we've seen him under the UFC banner 4 times. All 4 fights have ended via KO, 3 in the first round, 1 in the second. He won 2, he lost 2. Now, the 2 he won, it was against very low-level competition in comparison. 2 he lost, I would argue that it was against lesser fighters than Marquez is. This guy simply doesn't like to get hit, and I hate to say that about a fighter because, believe me, he likes to get hit more than I do. But as far as the UFC professional fighter goes, he just doesn't enjoy it. He doesn't do well being the nail. And he does have a funky wide stance that Marquez is going to have to figure out in the first minute or 2 of the fight. Once he starts hitting him, I think Wright goes down. Now, I don't want to say it's just going to be a knockout because all of Wright's losses or fights have ended in knockout, because we could see Marquez knock him down and jump on a choke. And we're not going to play knockout. We're going to play inside the distance. It's minus 135. It doesn't offer the best value, but I truly think it's the most likely outcome of the fight.
Next up, TJ, I want to get your thoughts on a sentimental favorite, in my opinion. 38-year-old Jim Miller, a man 8 years my senior. I want to see him do well. He's a minus 225 favorite, taking on Eric Gonzalez. Does my guy get it done, TJ? I got to know.
Yeah, I really think he does. And, I think that big underdog ticket we cashed on him against Roosevelt Roberts, I think that odds makers and bettors are realizing, okay, we can't just completely write Jim Miller off at all times, So this is a matchup with a debuting fighter, and it will be his 38th walk to the octagon, which is the most of all time. So we're going to see what we always see from Jim Miller. Okay, he's adequate striker at best, but his jits, his grappling game, it is absolutely on point. We're going to see Eric Gonzalez try to stay off of the fence, try to stay off of the floor, and we're going to see him fail in the first round of doing so. I think we're going to see Miller get a submission. I think we're going to see him back Gonzalez up to the fence, perhaps take his back without even taking him down, but probably taking him down. And I just see such glaring similarities to a fight in 2019 when Jim Miller was all but written off. It was against another guy named Gonzalez. That was Jason Gonzalez. And Miller did the exact same thing. Pushed him to the fence, took the back, choked him out, submission win in the first round. And I think we're going to see the exact same thing again. And we get crazy good value at plus 220 on the ITD line.
TJ, next up, I know you don't have a play on it, but I do want to get your thoughts on a main event that you might not associate with UFC main events, that being the fight between Aspen Ladd and Norma Dumont. A minus 140 favorite is Ladd. Do you think she takes it home as the favorite in the main event?
No, I actually lean towards the underdog in Dumont here, and it was nearly a play. It's not just, you forced me into a pick. This is definitely a lean towards Dumont, just not quite a dedicated play. So we're just not going to know what to fully expect from Aspen Ladd moving up to featherweight. We know the issues she's had on the scale at bantamweight, so it's good to see her do something to walk inside the cage and actually fight. So the matchup with Dumont, though, I don't think it's a good one for her. I think her game in the UFC, or at least at the highest levels in the UFC, is completely hinging on her getting the fight to the floor in her top game, which is good ground and pound, good submissions. But she's just adequate as a striker. She's not a great wrestler. And Norma Dumont is a much larger fighter. I think she's going to be heavier in the octagon come Saturday. I don't think Aspen Ladd is going to have any success in the striking. And I'm not saying a lack of success, but she's certainly not going to run away with the fight in the striking. So what we could see is Dumont somewhat bully her with the size advantage. We could see some boring clinch time where not a lot is happening, but Dumont is actually taking rounds because of it. And it's, it's a featherweight fight, but I do think it's probable it goes the full 5 rounds, unless Aspen Ladd just completely gasses, which is possible because, again, we have not seen her at featherweight. So I think if you're playing this main event, absolutely take Dumont, just play her flat. Overall avenues of victory.
TJ, thank you for your expertise on UFC Vegas 40. Folks, if you want more from TJ on these fights, check out ats.io. He has written up previews for each and every fight that we just talked about. Excruciating detail. You do not want to miss it. For TJ Calkins, Jay Sannon saying, see you next time. Good luck.
I'm going to throw in one little tidbit here, guys.
Oh, let me get it.
Yeah. So the last 4 cards, fighters we have bet on have gone 14-1-1. Now, a good deal of those, we didn't win all those bets because I recommended ITD plays on some that won via decision. But if I'm recommending a fighter, they have been coming through. So let's keep this hot streak going.
You are seeing the board well, I think is what they call it, TJ. And yes, I hope it continues. Folks, we'll see you next time. Good luck. Just hail TJ. That's the way to do it.
Salute.